I feel like a lot of people will be pulling for Madam Web. And in the spotlight, you also have the ever-present Eliath, but also Silk. And Silk has fallen in and out of the meta, but I like the card. And today, I'd like to prove Silk is still meta-relevant, or at least it's a playable card. So I start with the Funny Storm into Legion deck, where I just play high power, low costs like Silk, Hydra Bob, and all those fun cards, but these games didn't go too well. So I put together this deck where I stack a lane and get power with Elsa, and then they'll swing away. But I kept tweaking and changing the deck until I arrived at this. This is a pretty competent mid-range deck. First, you have Thena, who can easily power up with Kitty Pryde. You could do like Thena, and then the next turn Kitty Pryde and Silk, then Kitty Pryde and Copycat, then Kitty Pryde and Marvel, and so on. I have Angela as another way to get more power, since Kitty, Jeff, and Silk all can play on them and then move off. Gwenpool is really nice to get power on the board and works well in this curve. Copycat can win some games just based off of what she pulls. Hope Summers cheats out energies so you can play more cards or you can play at a higher curve. And then Miles Morales is in here because Silk procs him pretty much for free, but there's also many other cards in the deck that can make him a 1/6. But lastly is Shang, who can put us on the same playing field as some decks that are looking to go super large. And then subs for this deck, I would sub Hope or Copycat for something like Cast Nova, Nocturne, Elsa, or hell, even Spider-Man. Thena is a tough sub out, but maybe Kraven could get big in this deck. Then Gwenpool could be Miss Marvel. You just have to be mindful with where your Silk lands. But that's the deck. I am starting my climb in the 80s and I am striving to hit infinite with this Silk deck. We start off with Sinister London, which is a bit tricky for us. We lay down Thena and then Silk and Kitty, of course, to get the Thena proc, and I'm feeling pretty okay-ish about the game so far. I just want to be able to move my board around, so I play Miles and then Jeff down, and Thena's get even bigger. We both snap at the same time, and he hits me with the Miss Marvel thumbs up, so I guess he's feeling good. But I captain Marvel into London, just so I can knock both of the Silks mid. And then going into the final turn, here is how it turns out. And yeah, I'm not afraid to emote with the best of them, especially on an 8 cube win. And at this point, we are climbing so very quickly, and we're into the mid-90s. And although that was lightning fast, my climb started to slow down once I reached the high 90s. I have a beautiful setup in Mirror Island, and I can vision over into Luke's bar. But over on the left, he has a fatty Sage, and I'm guessing he's gonna Taskmaster. So I play it out for the 8 cubes, and to my displeasure, he plays Arnim Zola. And my Shank just whiffs, and I'm punting away 8 cubes for what? Like, I felt amazing, able to get 15 on Luke's bar for nothing, but that was just the start of my descent. The next game, I'm able to drop an early Silk, followed by an early Gwenpool. And thank God they missed their Wiccan condition. I load up the vault right before it closes, and I sneak Silk there. With my hand, I feel like 18 on the left, I'm going to win. That feels super competitive. And it happened. Reconnecting to game. I try to refresh, but it tries to boot me into another game, and eventually I get back just for this. And I go from 99 back down to 98, just on the cusp of infinite. But we start making up ground. We get a Destroy Gamer where we're able to Angela and then Hope and then Gwenpool all onto Camartage, which it felt amazing. And then on the final turn, we're able to Shang his Venom right before he's gonna be able to use that Arnim Zola. But then, it happened. After spending the whole night grinding Snap during the Ravens-Chiefs game, we end our game with a 12 power Copycat and a 13 power Silk. And Captain Marvel saves the day in Luke's bar. We did it. We hit infinite. I start at 566, which isn't the highest I've ever been, but we did it. We got infinite with Silk. So we collect our card back, which I don't know how to feel about, and here are my final thoughts on the deck. Overall, it's solid. Some matchups though, like Airsham or Wiccan or things that get really big, feel a little bit impossible to overcome, especially when it's in all three lanes. But in a more fair matchup, this deck just feels excellent and consistent. So if you get Silk, I hope you enjoy her. Although there's flashier cards, a 2-5 is still an incredible stat line. And let's be real, this card gets some of the best variants. But if you like the video, I hope that you like, comment, and subscribe. But that is all I got for you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!